What up? It's Nate with Grindhouse Capital. I'm going to read you guys some news. I'm not a financial advisor. From A&B Crypto, Ripple lawsuit. The court compels SEC to produce Bitcoin, Ethereum documentation as non-securities. I don't know if y'all remember the other day I ran the story where Ripple was saying the SEC determined that Bitcoin and Ethereum were commodities, but Ripple a security, and they requested to see that information. And the SEC's lawyers said that's not important, doesn't pertain to this case. It seems that the judge agrees with Ripple. In the latest development from the SEC Ripple lawsuit, the court has scheduled a date to discuss Ripple's motion asking the SEC to produce documents with regard to Bitcoin and Ethereum. XRP researcher Leonidas Haji drew attention to the news and shared court documents mentioning a telephonic conference that is scheduled for Tuesday, April 6th, with regard to Ripple's motion to compel. Here's the tweet. A month after SEC sued Ripple for an alleged illegal securities offering, the payment protocol company filed a request under the Freedom of Information law with the federal agency. Ripple team wanted SEC to declassify information about how the SEC concluded that Bitcoin and Ether were not securities. Additionally, Ripple even claimed that the economic substance of XRP's transaction is no different from BTC and ETH. However, the SEC did not think the documents concerning the other crypto assets were relevant to the case. They stated Ripple was one entity that created XRP. It is fundamentally different from Bitcoin. At the same time, SEC questioned the utility of its native token. Now the crypto company also wants the federal authority to disclose other documents relevant to the XRP case, specifically among documents concerning Bitcoin and Ethereum's status as non-securities. Other information requested pertaining to the legal status of XRP and SEC's internal communications on the same. Ripple's representative insisted that these documents hold information that is vital to the case. One that may prove that the regulator told exchanges XRP was not a security. Meanwhile, XRP supporters are urging crypto exchanges to relist XRP, a hashtag that even went viral on Twitter recently. This began after the judge questioned the SEC lawyer whether his arguments also implied that everyone who sold XRP is selling illegal securities. But the lawyer said no, only Ripple and affiliates of Ripple can have sold XRP illegally, and that everyone who sold XRP was not selling illegal securities. XRP community found these statements by the SEC lawyer as a positive development, since this could mean that U.S. exchanges will not be held liable for the sale of XRP. Amid the legal battle, the price of XRP reached a 24-hour high of 56 cents and has been up 3.8% in the past week. At press time, XRP was trading at 49 cents and has been up by 1.4 in the past hour. So I guess we're going to find out why Bitcoin and Ethereum are commodities, a judge has said. From Cointelegraph, governments are looking to buy Bitcoin. NYDIG CEO confirms. State-owned investment funds are reportedly making inquiries into buying Bitcoin, according to Robert Gutman, CEO of NYDIG. The firm has been having conversations with sovereign wealth funds about possible Bitcoin investments. Gutman made this known while appearing at a virtual podcast with investment strategist and founder of Real Vision, Raoul Pal. Paul also confirmed Gutman's revelation, stating that Singapore's sovereign wealth fund Temasek was indeed a Bitcoin investor. According to Pal, Temasek, which holds about $306 billion in assets under management, has been buying virgin Bitcoin directly from miners. Tweeting on Thursday, Powell characterized the imminent entry of sovereign wealth funds into the Bitcoin space as a wall of money. Indeed, since publicly listed firms like MicroStrategy and Tesla began holding Bitcoin on their balance sheets, there has been speculation about whether governments would follow suit. Drawing parallels between the appeal of Bitcoin for public firms and sovereign wealth funds, Gutman touched on the desire of institutional investors to hedge their dollar-denominated liabilities. According to Gutman, investors are reevaluating their portfolios, adding, if you look at the world today on a forward basis, it is reasonable to be asking yourself, as an investment committee or as an allocation committee, if having all of their assets denominated in dollars against dollar denominated liabilities is the right allocation mix. Back in August 2020, upon announcing its first Bitcoin purchase, MicroStrategy CEO Michael Saylor touched on the long-term value of Bitcoin vis-a-vis the depreciating value of cash over time. Earlier in March, Russ Koestrick, portfolio manager at BlackRock's Global Allocation Fund, characterized gold status as an inflation hedge as being exaggerated. Bitcoin is currently down 8% over the last 24 hours in what is likely to be an upside price dislocation, given the significant decline in the volume of Bitcoin held on exchanges. Despite the current drop, Bitcoin is still up about 78% year to date. From News BTC, can Uniswap version 3 prevent forks? Top lawyer breaks down its license. After the release of Uniswap version 2 in May 2020, several competitors for the DEX emerged, forking its code base, launching new incentives, and their own governance model to attract users. SushiSwap is perhaps the most important. To prevent something similar, the third iteration of the automated market maker will be released with a business source license 1.1. The license will expire after 2 years unless the community decides to accelerate its expiration. It will then adopt a GPL 2.0 open source license. With a tentative deployment date of May 5th, General Counsel for Compound Finance, Jake Chervinsky, believes it's possible that Uniswap version 3 could prevent further forks for a trade-off. This is where people say good luck enforcing copyright against anon devs, as if Uniswap's BSL 1.1 license is useless. Wrong, for a few reasons. First, most dev teams aren't fully anonymous. Like it or not, anonymity is tough to maintain, especially when a project succeeds. In addition, Chervinsky said that the developers of a successful project have a difficult time remaining anonymous and indicated that they may not be the only targets in a potential lawsuit based on U.S. law. The Uniswap Labs team could go after a third party that violates the license by choosing to integrate the fork. This includes exchanges, decentralized exchange aggregators, investors, liquidity providers, market makers, among others. The possibilities for lawsuits are broad, and it just depends on how aggressive they want to be, the lawyer said, adding that the threat of a lawsuit could be enough to enforce the license and prevent a fork of the code. The lawyer believes that litigation could just be part of Uniswap Labs' defense arsenal without ever having to pursue it. Chervinsky cited the opinion of his colleague, Collins Belton. Ultimately, suing someone isn't the only way for legal remedies to have force. It also why I have to unfortunately highlight to some people that just because you can sue someone and win doesn't mean it's smart to do so. Example, getting buried in costs and bankrupt before winning. In conclusion, the value of the license could go beyond suing everyone who attempts to fork the decentralized exchange. Chervinsky predicts a future in which other protocols adopt a similar strategy. This is so no one can copy their code for the first 2 years. The trade-off for this action could be increased centralization and reputational damage to the DEX. However, the lawyer believes that a well-calibrated legal strategy could be beneficial. He also highlighted that one of the license's best aspects is the ability for Uni token holders to revoke it. Given all this, I think it's premature to say BSL 1.1 should be the new standard for every DeFi project in every circumstance. Uniswap did it, so we should too. May seem tempting, but the reality is every project is different, and very few are positioned as well as Uniswap. Uni follows a bearish trend. Uni trades at 26.91 with a 12.2 correction on the 24-hour chart. In the last weeks, Uni's losses stand at 14.8%. From CryptoSlate, an NFT made by humanoid robot Sophia just sold for $688K. NFT crypto art is the biggest trend right now in crypto circles, and even robots are trying their luck. A recent non-fungible token sale saw a digital art piece sell for nearly 700K, as per a report by news outlet Reuters on Thursday. What made this sale impressive, though, was the drawing was made by a robot of her own face. Here's a tweet from Sophia the robot. So excited to meet my final collector. Auction update. Reuters is going to live stream the last 1 hour 101 Sophia instantiation in action. Don't miss this historic moment. Here, I'm going to play the NFT. It's pretty cool as far as art goes. I don't know if it's 700K cool. Called Sophia, the humanoid robot was activated in 2016 by Hong Kong-based company Hanson Robotics. She debuted in the US in March later that year and has even received citizenship of Hong Kong and Saudi Arabia, the only robot to ever receive citizenship of any country. 5 years and hundreds of human-like experiences later, Sophia is now trying her luck on NFTs. These are cryptographic representations of real-world or intangible objects ranging from crypto art, real estate, cards, to just about anything that proves the ownership of the underlying objects to the holder of that NFT. The NFT was produced in collaboration with Italian digital artist Andrea Bonaccetto, with Sophia combing elements from Bonacetto's work, art history, and her own physical drawings. Titled Sophia Instantiation, the digital work is a 12-second MP4 file showing the evolution of Bonaccetto's portrait into Sophia's digital painting, and is accompanied by a physical artwork painting by Sophia on a printout of her self-portrait. It is showing a conversation and tweets between the two. The piece went under the hammer yesterday and was quickly snatched up by an unknown buyer for 688K. I was kind of astonished to see how fast it shot up too, as the bidding war took place at the end of the auction. So it was really exhilarating and stunning, said David Hanson, the founder of Hanson Robotics. Sophia is yet to comment on the matter, however. The portrait was made entirely via Sophia's own decisions, and there was no human interference in the entirety of the drawing. As such, the particular NFT was part of a wider selection of Sophia's artworks for sale, which were sold in editions of 30 for 2,500 or 3,000 each. The sale generated over 1 million in total, a Nifty Gateway spokesperson said. Meanwhile, the sale was the first instance of an NFT made by a robot getting suitors at a public auction. It's also one of the higher priced NFTs to have been auctioned in recent times. The most expensive remains a 69 million piece sold by digital artist People. NFTs at press time are a $24 billion market that accounts for nearly 1.5% of all the 1.6 trillion crypto market. They've lost over 12% in the past day, but have gained 14% as a whole in the past week. From Bitcoinists, the dollar's role in the Bitcoin bloodbath explained. Bitcoin is back trading at prices it began the month at, wiping out most of the current monthly candle, ahead of a dangerous quarterly close and amidst several bearish signals in the top cryptocurrency. The dollar is currently regaining strength and is a large factor in the recent market-wide sell-off. Here's a closer look at how the dollar is impacting Bitcoin's bull run and why this actually could be the end of the current cycle if history repeats. Bitcoin price is currently on thin ice for the first time since mid to late 2020 after making a full recovery from the pandemic sell-off last March. 1 year later, the leading cryptocurrency is trading at nearly $50,000 more per coin, but is at risk of revisiting prices much lower. Momentum is turning down, and after such a steep ascent, the coming correction could get nastier than many are prepared for. Regardless of how bullish the first ever cryptocurrency has been, All good things must come to an end, and the end could be nigh if a dangerous fractal in the DXY dollar currency index plays out according to past cycles. Markets are cyclical in behavior, and after Bitcoin topped in 2017, there was a bear market. What prompted that bear market in crypto, however, was a midterm reversal in the dollar. So this is what they're implying. Here's the value of the dollar as it's falling down. Bitcoin's going up. As it peaks out, the dollar is at its lowest, but is turning around. It's basically working like a mirror, as they'll show. As the Bitcoin falls, the dollar goes up. Now we're at a place to where the dollar was strong and Bitcoin was low back in March, and it turned. Now Bitcoin has been strong while the dollar's been down, but the dollar's coming back. It's bouncing back. There's new strength in the dollar, uh, I guess. The chart above shows a better look at the dangerous situation that could be taking shape across the crypto market. The last time the DXY dollar currency index, a basket of top fiat currencies weighted against the USD, had a similar breakout. A bear market followed, and Bitcoin dropped by more than 80% from 20,000 to 3,000 at the low. The breakout in just a few days has already caused a powerfully trending crypto asset to pull back more than $10,000 from record highs. And if 80% is a similar target, things could get a lot deeper. A full collapse from the high of just under 62 would take the price per Bitcoin to as low as 12,000, where the breakout occurred, retracing almost the entire move. The opposing theory. The phrase "this time is different" is the most dangerous quote in investing, but this time would have to be different to prevent a return to nearly 10,000 per coin. However, this time very well could be, in fact, different. For the first time ever, the leading cryptocurrency's market cap passed over 1 trillion, attracted institutions, corporations, and more. Although the DXY chart appears to indicate the bull market is over, there's yet another scenario steeped in the Elliott wave theory that could save the day. Cryptocurrencies are a speculative asset class and susceptible to emotional impulses of the hive mind of investors, and Elliott wave theory focuses on exactly that, impulses. According to the chart below, Bitcoin could be entering wave 4 of 5 in terms of a greater motive wave. The Elliott wave theory implies that the trend begins when no one expects moving quickly but stopping before things get too far. In wave 2, moving opposite the trend, investors are still convinced the bear market is in effect and nearly the entire move is retraced before moving higher. Sound familiar? This is the 20,000 peak in January of 18. I don't remember where this was on the calendar. It's too small to see. But this right here is going to be June, July, something like that, of 19. This is going to be when COVID release happened. This has been us climbing out ever since. If it follows that retrace, it is a hard one. It's showing, oh, I can't see, it's too small. Well, hang on. It's showing close to the, but it says it never comes into it, so it should never get below 24, I think it says. Wave 3 is unmistakable according to descriptions of the study. Price appreciation moves fast and furious, driven by FOMO that sucks in more and more participants. Wave 4 itself is a bit trickier to pick out because it can feel to investors that the top of the cycle is in. Currently, so many factors are pointing to extend correction, but if indeed Bitcoin is about to start wave 4, wave 5 will shock and awe. If this time is indeed different, wave 4 won't retrace into wave 1's path upward, making anything lower than 13,000 completely out of the question. So much for 80K, or more like the bear markets have shown. But things can still get bad based on the study. For those that can withstand it, wave 5 could be what takes the price of the cryptocurrency to hundreds of thousands per coin and to the peak of the current cycle. Unless perhaps that time is now instead. I believe it is not now. I'm not a financial advisor. That's all for me today. Like the video. If you like the video, subscribe, comment, tell me what coins you mess with. I'll look them up for future videos. And thank you guys.